Well, hey everybody, it's New. We're back again with some more Curation Back to Basics Barrel and Go. We're straight off the heels of the last farm, which featured the Preservation Scarab, which reduced the investment cost of the maps quite significantly. This time, we're going to be going straight up, Divination Scarab of Curation with the double Divination Scarab to get maximum potential of the drops, which has some interesting ramifications with maybe some all flames for profit, Shaper all flames. Stay tuned in just a moment. I will get to it. Whereas the preservation farm was really good for just high speed, not worrying about the map roll too much. I'm going to be taking the maps a little bit more seriously this time. We'll kick it off with the Atlas, which I don't know why I'm showing you this, because it's exactly the same. Again, as the Preservation Curation farm and the Meat Sacks farm, and basically any other Atlas you could. You might want to put points in the item quantity and rarity. I mean, look, these maps spawn with 400% quant anyway. I don't care about rarity. So if you want 403% quant instead of 400% and lose 9% Scarabs, or sorry, you'd actually lose like 18% Scarabs. Be my guest. I would rather just drop more Curation Scarabs, probably. But anyway, that's the Atlas. No need to spend much time on it. That is just the standard Back to Basics Atlas. All-in Scarabs, increased effect modifiers, the whole 9 yards. All right. Moving on. Going to be a quicker intro this time. As I said, Divination Scarab of Curation and the favorited maps are the same as they were last time, linked in the Atlas. The max roll link down below. Path of Buildings link down below as well. With, by the way, traded out the Rampage Gloves for Soul Ascension again. And the reason I'm doing that is because we're getting the Antagonist mod back on the maps. Getting it back on the maps. But yeah, just to reiterate, double Divination Scarab. These are additive with one another. So with the Preservation Scarab farm, you only got 150% increased Divination cards found in area, which again promoted a just really fast turnover, and not, you know, doubling down on investments in the map with like Shaper All Flames or whatever. This time, that option's there, and maybe we should care a little bit more about the rolls on the maps, about the barrel rolls perhaps, about all flames, because the full potential is here. Now, Shaper All Flames is present here, and I do plan to use a few of them. It's a little tricky figuring out whether these are worth using or not. I'm going to be using these on certain maps that spawn with a terrific lantern setup. Like, for example, high density plus possessed. Absolutely going to use Shaper All Flame on that. High density plus more pack size. You know, if it's like double dipping in something, a really good lantern mod, actually probably any possessed or any quant roll, I will use the Shaper All Flame, because quant's going to dramatically improve the divination card drops. So that's a good idea to use those, I think, in that case. I also have Elder All Flames. So Elder All Flames is an interesting choice. I've mentioned this a little bit in the past. I think this is a little bit of tinfoil hat. I don't know for sure. It's very hard to test this in any serious way, but I think Elder All Flames are better than the default monsters overall. I think maybe it's about the same, except you get the bonus unique portal mob to kill, and that definitely drops some things, including divination cards. Really don't think it's a major impact. Don't lose your minds over this. Don't pay more than half a divine for one of these. I paid only like 15 to 30 chaos per Elder All Flame, but there's not a huge supply of these. Yeah, get it through your head. These are not super important. This is the least important thing I'm doing on here, but it's the most weird or unforeseen thing I'm doing at the same time. So I don't want you guys to be mistaken this thinking, oh my god, Elder All Flame, new meta. No, that's not what's going on here. I do think there's something to it, and if they're really cheap and there's plentiful in supply, go ahead, try it out. You know, maybe you like it. Anyway, we have the Fortress maps, which are rolled a little differently. Again, new Regex, link down below. Coming back to the old Regex, where I was searching for Meat Sacks, Antagonist, Barreled Antagonist, or Shaper Touched Antagonist, I've swapped the Shaper Touched over to 90% or increased pack size. So that will be, I think, maybe a more premium setup. Certainly for like a high juice Rats Beyond, Imbue Beyond strat, which is something I'll probably test in the future. Maybe with Shaper All Flames. But the Shaper Touch thing, I don't think that's a big factor, other than the fact that it gives pack size as part of the roll. So it's good for that. But yeah, I'm guessing the new super premium juiced Curation Divination farms feature extremely high pack size maps probably with the Antagonist mod on there, which also gives a currency roll. So the cool thing about this is we're still doing barrels and go. This is still back to basics. And every single map's going to have at least one Scarab and one currency roll. Why? Well, the Antagonist mod gives you currency, and the barrel mod gives you Scarabs. So I don't even have to think about it as far as the rolls on here. So it's nice. I'm, again, still doing barrel and go. Not all of these maps have 35 plus clusters of barrels. These are all rolled within the 30 to 40 range pretty evenly. I would like them to have higher barrel rolls, but these maps are harder to roll, and for that reason, these are not going to be calculated at just one divine each. They will be 2 divines each. Now, I'm still doing a 3-way chaos spamming for 3 different kinds of maps again. Meat sack Scarab maps, high pack size juiced Curation maps, and these maps here. So I'm being pretty efficient with the rolling. But yeah, we're going to count these at about 2 divines a piece. You could say they're worth a little more, or maybe a little less. It honestly only takes about 100, 200, maybe 300 chaos to hit one of these. It really doesn't take that long. Because that's all we care about, really. Just Antagonist mod plus barrels. That's 1 prefix, 1 suffix. Not that bad. Okay, so we'll get started in just a second. First, let's go down to getting some of the investment costs. As you can see, it says 1,152 divines, but I'm readjusting the prices because that has the Shaper All Flame. It's not quite worth what it's really worth. I paid about 3 divines a piece for those, and I have 33 of them in here. I don't know if I'm going to use them all. If I have to use more, I'll add this in, but probably not going to be the case. Probably going to have some All Flames left over, as a matter of fact. And for I'll just be using the Elder All Flame on like decent lantern mods that are, you know, like normal with more pack size or something like that. But yeah, we're going to go 1,320 divines. That is 10 divines for the Scarabs in total. There's about 9.5 divines for the Curation, half a divine for everything else. 2 divines per map. And then about 1 divine per map on average in All Flames. So you get a little over 13 divines per map in that case. You might recall the Preservation Scarab farm before it went up in price was about 6 divines per map. So we're more than doubling the investment here. I'm not 100% sure this is going to turn out better than the previous farm, especially after some recent testing. I'm curious to see how this looks. To that note, once again, we have the stack deck weightings. This is linked in the description too, as well as this one. I went ahead and kept the old data in here. I'm just opening a new tab. I'm going to do the same thing I did last time. If you don't know what I'm doing here, I'm normalizing the Divination card drop rates by checking the common cards that I get, and then figuring out the whole formula for that, and then cross-referencing that with the weights of the rare cards, and then not really paying that much attention to how many rare cards I get, but rather seeing how many rare cards I should get based on formula. And everything looks like it checks out pretty well with the math. Last time, I was quite pleased with how it looked. Basically, I got a little bit lucky on 7 years Unfortunates last time, a little bit, and then I got quite unlucky on the 3 big cards. The big 3, I guess, the Apothecary, Nimbus card, and Unrequited Love. And then I dropped a full stack of Unrequited on the 101th map, which didn't count. So yeah, did that the other day, and then dropped a mirror like 10 maps ago off stream. So I got a knack for getting massive drops not as part of the session. That's okay. We'll figure out what I make personally in there, and the title of the video will be whatever it comes out to fairly normalized. I'll be quite happy if this comes out to over 100 divines per hour. Yeah, I think this takes about 5 minutes per map instead of 4, which the other previous farm did about 4 minutes per map. And the previous farm, by the way, I forgot to calculate the normalized div per hour on that farm, but it was 104 divines per hour is what I made last time normalizing the divination drops. That is with 2 Hinekora locks that dropped last time, so a little bit of an outlier. But anyway, that is what I managed to do last time. So that's the benchmark this time. Hopefully we can do it. And since the Preservation Scarab has gone up in price because there weren't very many to begin with, and I made a video on it, this is going to be the farm that you're probably going to do more often, because again, if the Preservation Scarab's worth at least 2/3 of the Curation Scarab, you should just dip out of the Preservation Scarab. Not worth doing anymore. Question in chat, what is the Antagonist mod? That is increased number of rares and increased or additional modifiers per rare. And this is really important with Shaper Touched, by the way. I would really have no interest in trying Shaper Touched on a Back to Basics unless I had that mod, because that's going to end up being 4, 5, or 6 additional modifiers on an all flame that spawns a ton of rares, and that's actually going to add a lot of loot. I know there's some conjecture out there about rare monsters dropping divination cards versus magic and normal. I still find a lot of divination in an absolute sense. A rare monster is more valuable than a magic or normal monster, especially if you have the Antagonist mod on there. All right, that's it for the intro. Time to get our farm on. These still be fast maps. A couple of Abyss all flames in here in case I get some bad mob type. Just gonna add a few things in here. I'll notice that my inventory will fill up and max out sometimes. Gonna add even more time to the maps. But, you know, more loot per map, more fun per map, I guess. Map number 1. Not a particularly great outcome. I would have loved to see the more pack size with the high density. It would have put a Shaper on that, but instead, in this case, I'm actually going to use 2 Elder. Okay, sometimes I'm use 2 Elders if it's like this. You know, these are both, you know, semi-premium lantern turnouts here, but nothing really amazing. So, you know, that's kind of, I'm trying to, you know, it's hard to kind of play it by ear, but I'm trying to be really efficient with the Shaper all flame because that is expensive. An extra 3 divines to use it is no joke. All right, so we got a mid-tier roll on the Back to Basics. All right, so that is that. These are the Shaper, or rather the Elder maps. You saw there were a couple of unique portals there. What I've noticed is that the rare monsters, if they spawn with the Elder all flame, they come pre-spawned, and then other white monsters come in afterwards if you allow the portal to spawn them. I've come to find that doesn't really matter. If you allow the portal to spawn them, it makes a pretty small difference. The important thing is the high value monsters tethered to the Elder all flame are pre-spawned in the map. So, you know, you're going to get most of the value anyway. I played around with this a lot. I tried to, like, you know, meticulously allow the portal to spawn everything. It's a giant headache. Maybe that would be the best thing to do technically, but it adds a lot of time and headache. Not worth doing, I decided. While I still ultimately figured that it is a decent all flame and should maybe be used. Opening with a Union of Souls map. That's okay because I have a bunch of Headhunter buffs. Second Divination Scarab of Completion. Second Divine Orb. We get a lot of currency and Scarabs here, but where are the cards? Where are the cards? One cool thing about this farm, as opposed to the other one, is 573% more currency. I didn't realize that the roll was that high. One of the cool things about this farm is it's quite easy, because if you have a Headhunter, you're going to be floating Headhunter buffs like nobody's business. Way more so than the previous farm. The other farm I was doing, without the Antagonist mod, I'd be lucky to get 20 Headhunter buffs at any point. But here I can float 55 Soul Eater stacks easy for the whole map. And a whole bunch of Headhunter buffs. The boss is going to be way easier to kill. Everything in here is easy to kill. I wouldn't be killing every Union of Souls mob at this point with only 15 Headhunter stacks. I know that. So it's actually easier. The maps are easier to do. I wager. Either that or it's this brand new Yoke of Suffering I got. Making all the difference in the world. Okay. Well, we had a lot of swings on the map, but no real good drops here. I'm starting to get kind of beefy. Yeah, so, you know, inventory is pretty full up now. Don't have to kill every single mob there, but I actually kind of lost a lot of headhunter buffs for that. Ooh. All right. That's one map down. Yeah, that looks pretty typical. With this kind of roll, I'd hope to see maybe a little bit more loot. A little bit closer to full inventory, but yeah. Have I seen the double corrupted headhunter card yet? That card will not drop in here. Oh, meat sacks plus a divine and an annul. Alright, Birdie told me meat sacks is worth 2 divines right now. It's like, what? 2 divine meat sack? Huh? Probably my most unlucky card of all cards. Like, I got 0 unrequited, but actually getting only 3 Nimbus is more unlucky than 0 unrequited. Whoa! It's happening again, guys! Full stack of Brother's Gift. The meme never dies. Get it. Get it. That's 5 divines. Huge. These are Shaper portals here. And, you know, putting Shaper Touch on the map means I'm, instead of floating like 60 headhunter buffs, I'm floating like 75. That's how many rare mobs these things spawn. It's kind of weird. I need to move the points over to have accuracy when I can't run precision. Or if it just says less accuracy. Curate. Oh, like I said, I was probably going to drop something. This absolutely abysmally rolled map makes more currency than any of the other maps before it. Makes sense. Why no reserve life? Because I have negative aura effect. It's actually detrimental to use the auras, apparently. I think it goes negative when you use auras. So if you have over 100% reduced effective aura, I think it actually counterproductive to run auras. Or best case scenario, it auras give nothing. So why even run it? Oh boy! This interesting thing happens, and put it as a highlight, the preview. Ooh, one unrequited love. Oh, one. Yo. All right, so I've dropped unrequited 5 times this league. 3 of them have proc completion. And only 2 haven't now, including that one. So I'm like crazy lucky on that. Like outrageously. Yeah, I'm outrageously lucky. My first, third, and fourth. Or no, first, second, and fourth proc. Imagine the feeling I had when the second one in a row did it. Yeah. And this one's a brother stash. Oh my god. Not even as good. Okay, I'm definitely getting more stashes than gifts. That much is certain. Chris Wilson, is that you? Okay, at least this one's not too bad of a roll. Better than average. Not really high, but better than average. Curation Scarab. Well, okay. That's a good drop anyway. Not what I'm aiming for, but 149 extras. Meat sacks. Whoa. All right, guys. I'm dropping meat sacks for you. You gotta sustain the other farms. It's a symbiotic relationship with the meat sack farmers. Shaper all flame on a 1680 quant with like an 70% back to basics roll, maybe. I mean, this is really high. About to get paid. I'm about to drop like 3 brothers goofs. Surely. Surely. I think I'm gonna drop a Nimbus card. My first Nimbus card this map coming up. English is my half language. So you mean like your first language, but not really? First language, but only halfway understand it. Well, alright, well that's a decent outcome, I guess. 7 years again. I'm actually quite lucky on 7 years, especially with the full procs. Making bank on them. They're carrying me right now. Through the lack of Nimbus and apothecaries and whatnot. People were not being particularly honest about a variety of different aspects of their farms. In some cases, just like outright cheating the numbers and stuff. And I remember, well, the first thing I did that set myself apart from anyone else is that oh wow, that's good, is that I put the entire Twitch VOD in the description of the video. Who would have thought a Mage Blow was in a barrel over here? It's crazy. It's been a while since I dropped a full stack of that. That's been a while. That's pretty rare. Well, hey, that recoups a few losses. It's definitely above average. To the moon with the headhunter buffs. Screen up 1 apothecary. You telling me I dropped 2 apothecary cards before I dropped a Nimbus card? Come on. And an unrequited before a Nimbus card. Where's the Nimbus card, man? What in the world? First Nimbus card. 1 card, not a stack. Insanely overdue for that. $13.7 years. What is that? 26.7 years? Oh no! Damn! Ah! Ah! Bah! Ah! Why you tease me like this? Don't tease me like that! Imagine though. Would have been so epic. Oh god. The meat sacks and the barrels ones, they're more common. Oh shit. Alright, same map after all. 27 years bad luck from this map. So I'm budgeting 2 divines per map on this. That's the cost of the map plus, you know, 100 to 200 chaos. Which is honestly, it probably takes like 100 to I don't know, 100 to 200, maybe, I don't know, maybe 300 chaos per map to hit maps like this. So if I was exclusively rolling for these maps. Yeah, but I'm not, so I'm not really paying that much. In fact, I don't even think I'm really paying 100 to 200 chaos per map, given that rolling other things. But I'm not selling any of the maps now. So before, you know, the maps felt effectively free because I was just selling the really expensive ones. And that's no longer happening. But I'm running all of these that I get. Simulacrum, so I concur. You bored me with your announcement. That's how boring it is. The mere thought of it. 17, or what? 17, 13 years bad luck. What? 17, 3 years bad luck? I don't know anymore. Hey, look, Mom. No damage. Wow, dude. That would have been so good if it was a Curation Scarab there. I don't know, my mush for brains. Ran over 50 maps straight. Come on now. Farmers are jealous right now. My Chaos Orbs come stacked. Not yours. You get 9 for 1 click. Ooh, Wrath card. 10 for 1 click. Well, actually, 2 clicks. They're gonna turn in, but yeah. Yeah, I'm dead serious. The all flame farmers look at this and they're like super jelly. Full stack Wrath cards. 8+ Chaos Orb stacks. Ooh. Ooh. Heavy breathing, I'd say. Kane says, finally caught a new stream. Thanks for the content so far. Thanks for the good omens. That one was, you must have dropped that in my map. You dropped an apothecary in my map. You did that before too, I think. Except... oh my god. The dream. The dream is here. This is high density, more pack size, possessed or touched by tormented spirits. Literally best case scenario. Lantern. You've seen it here. I would slam 4 Shaper All Flames into this if I could right now. This is the absolute dream Lantern setup for 1 Shaper All Flame. And since this is high, I'm just going to put Elder on it. So there you go. Just going to make... I'm going to spawn more portals. Each portal is going to spawn more monsters, and every single monster comes out of their magic, normal. They're going to be touched, rares. A bunch of rare monsters are going to be possessed. They're going to have extra loot drop because of the Antagonist mod in the map. This is where it all lines up, and I'm praying for a good back to basics on this one. The most important back to basics map right here. And I did. I got a good one. Okay. This is not like top. This is probably about 60-65% roll. So yeah, we're about to make it rain. We're about to make it frickin' rain. Here we go. Or I'm just gonna die right away. Brother's gift. Yeah, I died anyway. Alright. I'm gonna read the map mods. See what I got. Let's check out. Oh, minus 60 all res. Oh, I'm supposed to use lore weave in this. Okay, it's not a big deal. I can just put lore weave on. We got minus 60 all res. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Not a problem. Not a problem. All according to plan. I finally ran into the maps where they have a bunch of minus max res stuff. No, even with the mediocre, yeah, the barrels are gonna drop a ton of stuff on this map. Probably full inventory again. Not pick that up yet. Pick that up. Another apothecary. One. Get that Nim. Oh my god, it's more rare than the Nimbus card. I keep dropping it though. Barrels worth farming? I mean, yeah, like barrel and go. How many stashes? I'm at like 15 stashes. And oh, where's the proc, dude? Where's the proc, dude? Oh my god, I just offed myself. A lot of mid loot on this map. Yeah, really mid loot. Yeah, okay. Alright. Alright, I guess. I like how the Enlighten full stacked and then the Nimbus card immediately failed the full stack. Crap. Fewer mobs out of each portal. A lot of portals, not many mobs from the portals. A lot of loot from each mob. But I got bad back to basics. Pretty bad. Curation Scarab, okay. Oh, this map is... Wow, there's a lot of currency and Scarab rolls for how bad the back to basics hit. Makes the screen go blurry. Oh, how much time did I put into PoE? Oh, jeez. Yeah, I haven't actually counted it. It's an entrepreneurial thing, so don't really think of counting it. Just do what needs to be done when it needs to be done. Whoa, the fuck? Well, I already got a squire. What the hell? Imagine I come in here and drop the portal and then fucking break the map. It's sitting right outside. And all that could have happened, actually. Oh my god. That would be terrifying. I just said, like, someone would be like, oh, okay, get out there. Okay. So I get distracted by Mage's Blood drop. 0 tier 0s until this map, and now drop 2 at once. Yeah, let's not think about that. Another apothecary, what? Only one. Well, I guess I'm not even lucky on apothecaries anymore because I've found 4 raw and 1 stack. I'll go through a beam for that. Oh yeah. I didn't care at all. A shaper beam, joint. See how much loot I'm getting for how bad the back to basics is. I'm actually gonna fill an inventory again. Another apothecary. Yeah, shaper touch plus the quant roll is, dude, that is big. You gotta have to remember that. Even on like cheap investment style, I should probably do that. I should probably just put, if I get a high density quant rolled lantern setup, I should probably just throw a shaper off flame on there no matter what. Even if I'm not running rare mobs. I don't know, what do you guys think? I think that might be the big lesson or the big takeaway from this farm. Providence. As written. Okay, enough of that. Oh my god. 16 unrequited love. I just love a good after work shift of Twitch streaming, finishing a map session. Lisa guy. Yeah. Okay. I mean, this map, it could be sandworms in this map, I guess. It's just a way of it. It really just comes down to that card and that collection. Oh no! Missed the full stack again! Oh my god. The Nimbus card got mad. It's feeling left out. Dude, dropped the Nimbus. Like making currency every map. Fuck, another red star off the thing. This is not even a good map. This is like a bad roll. Not even good roll. What? What is going on? The finale of this farm is off the chain, man. 13-7 years. The game is stopped. Alright, let's get to it. What a finish that was. I was mentally prepared to let you guys know that this strat wouldn't really perform as well as I hoped it would. There's an interesting reading between the lines on this one. I'm really glad I looked at the normalized loot because it tells the real story. I got way luckier than I should have got, especially towards the end. Anyway, we'll get to all that. Here are the dump tabs: A, B, C, D, E. Oh, hey, look, a Mage Blood. And that didn't fit at all. So I had to include this little dump tab, and this one, and this one, and this one. I really don't want to have to buy a 6th quad tab, guys. Anyway, there we go. Let's see how everything turned out. We'll go back here, and this is the back of the office. You can see that I dropped almost 1 Divine Orb every other map, which is pretty cool. No Henicore locks this time. 1 puzzle box. No mirror. Sad. Only 3 Curation Scarabs. Really disappointed in that, especially since I was killing way more monsters this time, and higher value monsters, a lot of rares. So I'm sure I should have got more than 3 Curation Scarabs in this farm. Unrequited loves utterly carried everything like crazy. Unknown origins, extremely unlucky. But anyway, Apothecary, 7 years was probably the luckiest I got. Was 7 years, actually. I don't know if I ever see anything like that again. My goodness, I think I got almost a 50% stacking rate on 7 years. I think it was like 48% stack rate proc. Freaking crazy. Okay, anyway. Here's the breakdown. 2,025 divines in divination cards. 129 scarabs. 114 in currency. A little bit in uniques. That's almost exclusively Mage Blood. Some Shaper All Flames left over from the start. And I guess, yeah. Oh yeah, coffins, you know, it's kind of cool. So actually get a little bit of value from the Elder All Flame by getting coffins back. That's kind of cool. One little side point why you might want to run Elder All Flame. Well, As you can see, Unrequited Love dominated everything else. 7 years otherwise dominated the Fortunate card. And remember, with this farm, in a typical farm, the Fortunate card is going to be at or near the top. So if anything else is like really beating the Fortunate card, you got really lucky on whatever that is. The Apothecary also came out pretty high. Brother's Gift was right where it should. Mage Blood dropped mainly on account of Shaper. All Flame, a rare spawn, most likely. So, in a weird sense, I suppose the Shaper All Flame kind of paid for itself, because I really didn't use that many of them. I definitely didn't use so many to make up the cost for Mage Blood, but anyway, a little bit lucky, for sure, on a Mage Blood. You don't really get any uniques out of barrels, by the way. And everything else is as shown. A few other Scarabs. Maybe one of the most disappointing things for me is how few Scarabs I dropped. I didn't drop nearly as many Scarabs as I thought I would. Considering... yeah, Shaper, All Flames, Elder, All Flames, still barrel and go. Yeah. But anyway, there it is. Somebody in chat said if you didn't get lucky and drop the full stack, you would still be in the positive. Oh yeah, I was still doing positive. For the record, I checked the math on how I was doing after 75 maps. That was before. That was when I had only dropped 2 Unrequited Love at that point. I was still at like 50 div an hour. So it wasn't all that bad. But 7 years was carrying like crazy. Okay. We got the stack deck weighting. Just want to remind you of this. Again, in the description below, this is how I cross-reference everything. I use the average weightings there. And that all gets plugged in to here. So we'll expand this out. Right here is the Preservation Farms result. 9.12 divines per map. This time, roughly 14.2928 divines per map. I think right before I show you that, we will present the results in a little notepad. Investment of 1,360 divines. Yeah, like 2 mirrors. Let me fix that. Gross 2426 divines. Net profit 1066 divines. Net profit per map over 10 divines. And it took almost 5 minutes per map. So that was an 8-hour farm. 133 divines per hour. Again, not counting the turn-ins and stuff. Anytime you hit the unrequited stack, you're gonna way overperform. But the really good thing I was able to find for you guys is I essentially doubled what kind of currency per hour I should have gotten in this farm. So I was supposed to get somewhere around 65 div per hour. Or, you know, again, that's 8 hours of farming, so you can do a little bit of math, figure out how many div per map that is, and that is based on the normalized drop rates of completion Scarabs on all ends of everything. That is this row right here, 12, resulting in 14.28 div per map. Now this is interesting because my investment cost is almost that high. And when I did the preservation farm, at the time, my total investment cost was around 6 divines. Honestly, only like 2/3 of the amount of div value. That's why that farm had such great potential. Here, the profit margin is really squeezed. Now, I personally got lucky and did even better on this farm than I did on preservation farm, but on average, this did not come out as well as I hoped. So again, that's kind of the reading between the lines here. I'm actually a little bit disappointed in how the normalized results came out, but they are what they are. And that's with me, again, taking all of the normal cards that I dropped, figuring out the drops in singles, and, you know, getting the div per map that way. I'm actually just pulling that straight off of here. And then figuring out how many of the rare cards I get through the weightings with completions in mind. And we can see that, as usual, the Fortunate and 7 years and Unrequited Loves are the big winners here. With the Nemesis and Apothecary not too bad, and then everything else being much further behind. You know, still paints a very similar picture to what you saw over here. Just the numbers are a little bit higher, but not not enough higher to really justify spending all that much. So, yeah, that's the result. And let me go ahead and actually pause the video. I'm going to give you final thoughts, but we have a little bit of gambling to do. My community informed me that could be doing a little bit of gambling, some Mad King gambling, some Enlightened Turn-In gambling, so, just a little bit of fun stuff. We'll get to that. Valentine. Not Valentine's, Valentine. Valentine. Yeah. Oh yeah, I got one of these too. Foil Actum. I'm gonna guess that's not worth anything. I did 3-1, Immutable Force, and it hit big. But I'm gonna Val it anyway. Huge potential right here, guys. Alright, I'm just happy I didn't destroy it. I don't think that means anything. Anyway, we're just gonna Val all this stuff, see what happens. Ooh. 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 Percent life, come on. Ooh, I called it. Why is it minimum roll, though? Alright, Enlightened. 1 in 8 chance? Better get at least 1. Nope. 1? Nope. 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 Oh, I got 2 down. I gotta get 2 up. Gotta get 2 up. Oh, 3 down. 1 up. Okay. And for my final trick. I don't know how to do this. I've never done this before. How do you make this an adorned? I thought it was just vendor recipe. You have to combine. What? That is so dumb. What if you accidentally create one without wanting to? Okay, dude. 80%. That's good, right, guys? 145%. Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What the hell? That's worth 115 divines. Well, it would seem I came out ahead. Beginner's luck, I guess. I'm a beginner at the game, guys. I don't even know how to play this game. I don't know how to make an adorned. And 114 div. Easy money. Alright. I totally needed it, too. Need that RNG. God. Let me give you my final thoughts. Oh, wait. Hold on. I want to see what this was actually worth. 8 divines. Okay. Whatever. Final thoughts on this farm. Alright, so the interesting thing, very interesting takeaway for me, is my last farm normalized currency per hour. It was like a 6-hour farm. I made 104 divines per hour normalized on the last farm. This time I only made 65 divines normalized. Now, part of that is because the preservation scarab was criminally underpriced at the time when I did that strat. And so certainly that would have dropped down a bit more. But there's more to this picture than what meets the eye. I think that the strategy I used this time was categorically inferior. It did not work out as well as I hoped. Should have gotten more than just 60% more divination cards because I paid extra on the map rolls to get the Antagonist mod, to use Shaper, All Flames. Sometimes I invested, a fair bit extra currency in these maps to get premium maps. But the premium nature of having extra rares and them having extra modifiers and then using Shaper All Flames for extra monsters and extra rares did not even outproduce the loss in the barrel roll criteria. So again, I think the big reason I lost currency is because running maps with 30, like a low barrel roll, actually hurts more than running maps with high rare rolls. Now, there's some conjecture in the community about how much rares contribute to divination cards. I see divination cards drop off rares a lot. I think they, pound for pound, a rare monster is better than a magic or normal monster. But the fact of the matter is, the barrel roll matters more. It just matters more. There's a huge difference between 30 barrels and 40 barrels at the end of the day when you convert that over with back to basics. And that means on the next test, at least on the behind the scenes, I'm going to care a lot about the barrel roll and the quantity roll. I think the barrel and quantity roll might be the real ticket to paradise for this farm. So that's what we're going to do next. I do want to explore some other things too, like rats, all flames, shaper all flames with juiced content, rats, juiced and beyond imbued and stuff. But first I want to stick to this barrel and go. Obviously doing pretty well with it. It's doing better than a lot of people would expect it to. And I'd like to find another mirror on stream this time. That'd be great. It'd be nice too, you know what I mean? Anyway, that's it for me, guys. This is 100 maps, Curation, barrel and go, the full gambit, shaper, even shaper all flames, and back to basics. Didn't pan out as well as I hoped. Still alright. And I got lucky. Per our usual arrangement. I will see you guys in the next video, whatever that is. Might be another 100 maps, who knows.